Are we ready? Well, I know I am. So, whether or not you are, it's time for another episode of the IndieTales game dev live stream. Hey, my name is Adam. You are the Pixel Pals. I've already said the name of the show, so without further ado, it's time to go. Welcome everyone to the Thursday edition of the stream. We've got another short one today, unfortunately, because of just where we're at. I don't think I want to do that. I think that's all good. Just making sure my mic is good, not too hissy. Today we got a short stream because I've got an event that I'm heading off to a bit later on. So that's at 6. I got to leave here at about 5 to get there on time, which means we have less than 3 hours, unfortunately. But I'm going to see if I can make the most of it. Okie doke. All right. We've got lots of emotes in the chat. Let me see them. All right. So today we've actually got a stand-up meeting straight away with the team, so I'm going to jump straight into that and see if we can jump in. Stand-up question mark, and we'll see if everyone's available. I've been working on lots of stuff today to do with mostly just meetings, to be honest. I've been working on brand stuff actually this morning, and then trailer stuff a bit later this morning, and then we've got music and sound reviews a little bit later. Last night I was working on something really exciting, actually. Some effects in the game for equipment that you can craft. So we don't have any more in the game, or at least in the demo, we don't have like power increases with like gear, but we are looking to do kind of like utility stuff. So quality of life or modifiers that change the way the game plays ever so slightly, just to give you incentive to personalize a little bit, and an incentive to engage in the side content and that kind of thing as well. Okie doke. So, man, I really do think that like I'm getting close to peaking the mic here. I can hear my S's quite a lot, but maybe I'm just overthinking it and I got the volume up too high. Okay, so we got people ready for stand up, so I'm gonna jump in and see if they are cool. Let's pause. That music can. No, I'm gonna pause it. All right, let's jump in. Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Oh, very quiet. Let me see if I can boost that a little. That's for me. Whoa. Thank you so much, Jump Die, for the sub. We got Morgan Composer coming in, maybe. Bit of Luca. There's one. We might wait a little bit. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Sup, Luca?
Nothing much. Just outside for a bit. So it's something different if I sound a bit weird.
Wow, grass and sunshine?
Yeah, a lot of sun today.
Betraying us.
I'm becoming normal. Oh
No. You'll lose your animation powers if you go out in the sun for too long. All right.
Yeah, they break down under vitamin D exposure.
That's it. The compound.
Compound to dust. Yeah.
All right. So today, stand up. Let's go midweek. I've been working pretty hard on, gosh, so many different things. I've been really struggling to get on this boss fight, like wrapping up the boss fight. But it's in an okay place. It's playable. I've also been doing a lot of work on the game's brand for the pitch deck and our trailer animation that's coming out, and anywhere else that you'll see insignia related things is actually sharpening up really well. I'm very happy with it. Outside of that, I was working on some stuff that Luca has been working through. I've been designing and developing the equipment effects for things that you can craft that are off the beaten path, like side quests, that kind of thing. And I've got a little workflow for that that's working. So I've also got a thing later tonight, an event that I got to go to in the city. So I'm gonna try to speed run doing something productive in the next 3 hours. But we've also got some music and sound effect meetings coming up soon. So we'll see how lucky I am in getting that stuff done. All right, Elias, what about you?
Yeah, I've been doing some work on the death sound effect, kind of making sure that that sounds right. As of now, it's like a placeholder sound that doesn't really, it could use some extra work. So I've been working on that, and as well as some chiptune stings that Morgan and I have been going back and forth on.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah, I've been really enjoying those. They've been coming together really nicely, and it's always like a treat to see what the creative process kind of like, creates, because it's not just what any one person would have done. It's really crazy seeing it all kind of unfold.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. And Luca, what's going on?
Yeah. I've been enjoying those sounds, those jingles you guys are making. Cool stuff. I've been playing around with those quests. I think it was the last thing I did, and at the moment, working on the Breadman carriage in the Force. So far that's coming along nicely. I've made some adjustments to the colors and the horse, as well as the carriage itself. I made it a bit longer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a look at that soon.
Well, yeah, I'll be back. Well, you're going out to the city. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, next time you're available, it's all good. You don't need to rush home or anything.
Yeah. No
All
worries.
right. Cool. Okay. And Morgan?
So yeah, this morning doing a lot of the Sting stuff. Excuse me. The quest start. I've dropped into the Figma, the 3 with the orchestra added.
Cool. I haven't had a chance to look at that just yet.
Then I've also been working on the game over. Then yesterday I was doing a lot of work on the boss fight. On the music branch should now be a version of it in the Unity project that has an intro and some kind of structure to it.
Yeah, I
So
pulled
we're getting
in.
there.
I pulled in some of those changes yesterday, and I was really enjoying it.
Yeah, so I guess we can chat about that later. But still need to do more in terms of phases and changes to intensity and just layering it more. But yeah, starting to feel like I've got some bare bones structure to it, which is good. And yeah, today hoping to get to the foothills again and keep working on that.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll also be going to Waypoint this evening, so I'll see you there.
Awesome.
I guess.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll see you there. When just on the foothill stuff, I wasn't sure what you meant. Like the way that the event was set up a little while, like earlier this week, when you were mentioning like having it toggle between like every second play that it would cut the melody out. And then I was playing through it yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is what she meant. Like I just didn't understand what that was doing. But it's during one continuous play session, when it runs out of the track, it'll play the track without the melody. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm really curious to see to play like and test and see what my preference is around whether it should loop anyway, like whether we modulate it based on just cycling, or we do it based on like where you are relative to like the main campaign path. Like if you go off the beaten path, it cuts out, or if we do both, or that I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah.
Let's resolve that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping to take it further than just that. That was like a quick fix kind of so that you don't get sick of it while playing it. But yeah, hoping to do more with that. So
Cool.
yeah.
My immediate impulse is to say I haven't been getting sick of it. I like it. Like the
That's
melody
good.
wasn't
That's good to
running
hear.
dry at all. Yeah, no, it was great. Cool. And Morgan P.
Hi.
Hey.
I've just my plan for today is just implement the stuff for the Martin slingshot that we talked about yesterday because it was a bit late. So
Yeah, it was a bit late.
that's on the plate for today.
Yeah, no worries. You're a few hours behind us anyway, so it's only just
True,
start of the day for
true.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then once that's done, moving on to the different angles.
Yep. Yeah, sure thing. Okay. Yep. As with as I would normally say, if anyone's got anything that they need feedback on, please let me know. And any questions, anything like that, I'm here if you have them now. Otherwise, yeah, just DM me and we'll get to it. Okay?
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining me for Stand Up. And I think we've got Elias soon, if not now, for something.
Yep.
Yep,
For
you can stay on if you like.
sound effects review.
Yeah. And then everyone else, I guess, have a great rest of your day.
All right.
Bye.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya.
See you guys.
See
Bye.
Cool. So, my sound man. I was like music man, and then it's like that's not a thing, but there's no equivalent for sound. How you doing, Elias?
I'm doing well.
Good. So game over sounds. I thought I pulled something in, and then I might have just not got a chance to hear it, or maybe I just needed to mute the music.
Admittedly, there isn't that much to hear
Okay.
yet.
Sure.
The sound is like modified to have some extra stuff. Like it kind of has a more piercing sound to it, so that it cuts through better.
Do you want to yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I can demo it in a bit. But I do want to. I'm thinking I want to like abruptly cut the music as well.
Yep.
When that happens, because right now it kind of continues, so you don't like it doesn't really feel like anything.
Do you want to? Is there anything you need from me in order to implement that in Unity or anything like that, or is that just all Fmod stuff?
I guess if you were to stop the music, how would you do it? I'm assuming that there's like a method.
Yeah, I guess I kill the audio. I think we'd have a global audio stop music or something like that. If it's to stop it, which is probably right. Yeah, because we'd want to start up again from scratch if you choose to retry, even if we're in the same scene. So yeah. I think that's what I would want to do.
So yeah, I'm thinking I'll just tack that on to when the death happens.
Yeah, there was something. I think you're right. I think I'll just let you do that, and then if you do have any issues, let me know. But it seems like we can get through what we need to with what we've already got.
Yeah, that's that. Another thing. This is kind of unrelated, and I won't be able to get to it anytime soon.
Yep.
But if I wanted to like change what material something is for footstep sounds, how would I do that? I'm assuming it's in the tiled file.
It is. So I would change that for you, and then as long as the sound exists in the system, that will work correctly. Is there anything specific that you like? If you like, you could catalog some things, and then I'll get to them.
Sure. Yeah. The big one was just that the forge, like the crucible area, plays grass sounds.
Oh, okay.
Instead of stone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll make a list after this meeting of just.
I might be able to do that right now. If you want to see how I do it, like if you're brave enough to try, then I can show you. Do you have tiled on your computer?
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind doing it. It's just like, I don't know if that's something that you'd feel more comfortable.
I mean, I trust you, but I wasn't sure that you would you would consider that something that you would want to do. So for now, I'll do this, but I'll show you what I would do, and so you can see it at least how it works. So I go edit tile set, and then yeah, you're right. These are considered grass right now. So you can see when we click on the tiles, this is the actual, it's the TSX file. So TMX is a map file, TSX is a tile set, tile map versus tile set. So the TSX has all of the possible tiles, and then there's just custom properties, and then I've got surface grass. So this I would just change to stone like that. And then I should be able to just like copy this and then go to all the ones that I want to be stone and just paste. And then that's just now stone, all of that. So I can now do that here as well. Take these 3 stone. This is all still a bit work in progress, but now that's all stone.
Gotcha. And that's just is that for every tile or like just the floor facing ones?
The floor facing ones, I mean, you can't stand on things that aren't floor. So it's basically, just going through anything that's like facing up. I changed that, but that, like, just what I've done now is probably enough to consider that done, except this, maybe I'll make that grass. Or is there a dirt? I think we've got a dirt.
Yeah, there is a dirt.
So maybe I'll make that dirt. There's a little bit of playing around that I've got to do with in the crucible itself, like where the forge is. Originally I had designed that to be a bit more lifeful living, like more nature around it. So I might have to go back and do that. And we don't yet have any solution that would allow us to contour the sounds to things that aren't tiles. So like if I had just dropped a sprite on there that was grass that I wanted to play the sound, I don't think I've got anything immediate that can handle that. So maybe just for now, for the demo, that's fine.
Is that the case for the staircase?
Good question. Yeah.
That doesn't use a tile set, right? That's just like a long collider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could put a tile set down there that's invisible if we just wanted that to be stone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not super. I would make it wood.
Oh, it's wood. Sorry, it's not a stone step. Yeah, you're right. It's wood. Sorry.
But even if just the default one, it sounds fine.
Yeah,
like it's not noticeably wrong, you know.
Yeah, this is one of those areas of polish where I feel like when we do nothing, it's fine, but when we do something and it's inconsistent, then we have to, elevate to meet that. But in terms of that scene, because it's only one sound effect, one texture that you're running on the whole time, if that's just what it sounds like, that's what it sounds like. It's super minor. If that's where we're at, then you've done a great job. You know what I mean? Like if that's the level of nitpicking that we're doing, then we're all good.
So yeah, the Crucible was the only one that like really stood out to me. That was like, oh, that doesn't sound right.
Let me see if that sounds good now. I can't tell. I mean, it must be. But do we have like, are we at the place where we can do things like reverb in certain scenes?
Yes. I think the Athenaeum entrance should have reverb on it.
Okay, cool.
A little bit.
I'd be happy to do that here as well.
Yeah, I created a component, or like a prefab.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called fmod reverb zone.
Oh, okay.
and it's just a big collider that when Armin is inside it, it will, and it has like 2 sliders for like how much reverb and how long the decay is.
Cool. Let me see if I can just like drop one in. Yeah, cool. So it's for the whole scene. It's not like a collider, is it? Or it is a collider. Okay.
Yeah, it requires a collider.
Cool. And I'll make that a big trigger because I don't want I don't want to get pushed out of the entire scene. So let's just see what happens if I just drop this in here. And then, is it live or is it only on instantiation, the mix?
It's live. It should be. But...
That sounds great. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Let's see. I don't have any taste here, so I'm just gonna like max out all the sliders. Yeah, awesome. So good. Can I crank it? They want to hear it. Okay, let me crank up the volume for everyone.
Yeah, let's see how it sounds.
All right. Oh, the jumps. Wait, the echo is so long. It's like a huge cavern, but maybe. And then I'll bring the mix down. I think 50-50 is not too bad. Do you know what you were setting it to? That's pretty good.
In the Athenaeum, I had it quite subtle, and it's only in that like big entrance.
Yeah, I might. For now, I feel like just dropping it in the way I've got it is going to give us a lot of value. But I think maybe it would be cool if we could have like dynamic. We figure out what the reverb should be based on raycasts or something. Awesome.
Yeah, we could. It is something. It's not really that urgent. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but like there was like in the Athenaeum entrance, for example.
Do you want me to go?
It would be cool if like, sure, yeah. I think the way I had it, I like split it up into multiple reverb zones that kind of steps it out.
Yeah.
So like, it would be cool if like as you come down the stairs, you start hearing more and more reverb.
Yeah. Have it be more gradual, like a gradient.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think that can. I mean, it's so ambitious to do that. But, it's certainly something that I would find an exciting engineering prospect, for sure. It might put a requirement on us to do like ceilings, if it's like 2D tile space and there's just, if it's using the collision space to figure it out, it might be like, well, what's above? So if it goes off forever, it's like, well, that's infinite.
Yeah.
But I guess you don't hear, in space, you wouldn't hear anything, right? So it's really about, maybe we wouldn't do that. I think we would just bake it. But
yeah, it would probably. But then it's like, oh, like what's the interface?
Yeah, now
for like how we would set that and stuff. And
yeah. I think it would be. But, I could see it as like points, maybe, or like areas. Like it's light, the same way you would do light in the game. So you'd have like fall off of the zones. If a point could have like a really wide fall off, so you get that big nice gradient, like that Gaussian sort of look, and then you could have like rectangles that had no fall off, so it's like as soon as you step across that line, it's maximum reverb. I feel like that would be a good model.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what we do with the bacon sound effects, but with volume.
Yeah, maybe this is one of those areas where like we could literally hijack the lighting system, like. Literally put lights in the scene and then just have them not be visible, but then sample based on them. We could literally sample the pixels, like like there'd be an invisible object that's receiving an invisible light source, and that tells us what volume, how much reverb. Anyway, was there anything else major that you needed guidance on, or things that are being blocked that's on your schedule, or just things that are priority?
I don't think so.
Okay.
One thing just for you to, when you next get the chance,
Yeah.
or I guess like if you notice any problems with, I set up the system that like when you pause the game, there's mixer snapshots so that like it'll duck down the music a little bit while you're paused. I
Is that
still have to
live?
add the override. It should be, and like while you're in the cello mini game,
Oh yeah,
it'll silence that.
Yeah. I will play test that. I had a bug yesterday where the cello minigame totally broke on me. I couldn't use it at all. So I don't know what happened there, but I'll have to look into it. Yes.
If there's anything Fmod related, just let me know.
No, it was like key binding related. I don't know how. It was like anyway, it's probably my fault. But yeah, I'll let you know if there's anything that's Fmod related.
All right.
Cool. Okay. Well, other than that, I mean, I don't have anything major right now for like that I need sound effect wise. I think we're doing a really good job. Oh, there was one thing. The boss fight with Harriet hurt sounds. I know we've got her laugh, which is cool. I wonder if we should have something for when she takes damage generally, or if we do, maybe I just need to plug it in.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I played through a little bit of it. With by the way, Morgan's music for that was really like, I played it in context. I was like, "Ooh, this is."
Yeah.
It's like really feeling like a boss fight now. But yeah, like right now, because the only time she vocalizes is when she laughs. It feels a little bit off. I'm almost considering if like maybe sometimes when she attacks, like when she throws the quill, if there should be like a little like exertion.
Oh, maybe. There is something that I used to have there, which I have to put back in. It's like a Street Fighter Super graphic that comes in from the left, like from whichever side she's at. So it's like a full screen portrait of her pointing down at you.
Yeah, I remember that.
It might be nice to put either a sound effect to that, or I don't know about the exertion stuff. I feel like that might put even more responsibility on us to put more of her vocalizations, or like, more stuff in more of the fight. I feel like that would be the last place I would put that. But I do want to hear, that was something we didn't talk about before. Like, I want to hear a sound for the feather itself. Although right now it does have a sound because it spits out the particles. So do you know what? I'm kind of just talking off the cuff right now. I should play the game and with the intent of listening to the sound effects, and then I'll bring up a list if there is anything that comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have those hurt sounds made, but I just haven't added them to Fmod yet.
Okay.
So when I do that, I'll let you know.
Yep, no problem. All right. Well, I won't keep you. You're doing a great job. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Thanks, Elias.
Take care.
See ya. Okay. So next, I'm right now looking at something that you can't see because it's spoiler. Can I full screen that? Let me just make sure you can't see what's on my screen. And then I press play. Yeah, that's it. Okay, good. Awesome. Okay. And then I think we've got music review at some point, but that might be a bit later. Let me have a look. I'll play some music now on the stream, and I'll just make sure your ears are not going to get blown off. Everybody. Mic still sounds good. I'm hearing really high pitches right now. Like my S just then was super high, but maybe that's just my headphones right now. I don't really know what's going on. It's not bad though. And then, yeah, we've got some music stuff a bit later. It says at 4. Let me check in with Morgan. Cool. All right. Kyle at 3 a.m. I think I don't want to dox, but I could tell you where they're from. They can tell you themselves next time they're in chat. You can ask them. I know the answer, but I don't want to say unless, you know. I guess not really doxing, but you know, it's not necessarily my place to say where my teammates are from. It's not Montana. I'll say that much. Let me tell you every state that it's not. It's not Montana. It's not Mississippi. It's not Georgia. It's not Florida. It's not Kansas. It's not Arkansas. It's not Nevada. It's not Oregon. It's definitely not Utah. It's not Oklahoma. It's not Maryland. It's not Minnesota. It's not Nebraska. I can name all 50. That's why I'm so confident in this exercise. It's not Illinois. It's not Idaho. It's not Ohio. It's not Indiana. It's not Pennsylvania. It's not Maine. It's not Rhode Island. It's not Connecticut. Neither of the Dakotas or the Virginias. And it's not Cali either. But I'm not going to say. All right. I hope that's created a nice little game you can play in your head about where else it could be if you know the states. It's not Louisiana or Florida. It's Canada. The 51st state. There you go. Yeah, no problem. It's not Washington. So it's either like Wyoming. Did I say Michigan? It could be Michigan. Could be Hawaii. It could be New Hampshire. Hey, Mike, Kyle. You're looking for an American accent. Okay, so sure. 30 minutes. That's great. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Welcome. I'm a little embarrassed. I don't want to talk too much. Oh, is that eyes is looking for a sharpening down? I can do two at once. It's American down into Boston. So we'll start out here. Hey guys, this is me. I'm Adam. And this is my American accent. It's not perfect, but this is what I've got. I think it's great to have you all here, and I am excited to have you all listen to my voice. We're going to go now into zone where we're heading into the northeast. We're heading into Massachusetts. And as we go there, we're going to get a little more casual, okay? We're going to loosen it up a little bit and talk a little bit more like what we'd want to hear from a place like Boston, okay? So, I mean, whether you're from Southie or, you know, wherever else, you're gonna end up talking like this. At least, I don't know shit about Boston, but I do know that they talk something like this. It's almost New York. It's almost New Jersey. But it's not, it's Boston, okay? So, that's like the best I got. You know, my friend is wicked smart. That's all I can really say. Hey, Javi, I watched your stream yesterday. I wanted to comment on one thing so you can improve on your trailer. I like the idea of showcasing combo skills for exploration followed by showing them during combat. Because what I saw when you were fighting the other day, there was only one skill. And I remember during the stream, you put off a combo using the green skill followed by the red skill against an enemy. And it looked amazing. For sure. Yeah. I needed to put in more combo stuff. It's getting a little Jersey. Yeah, that's the problem. They all sound the same to me. Yeah. Because I don't live there. So it's all a big, that's why they call it an impression. The combo stuff is brutal. It's all the same? Okay, I wouldn't know. I got no idea. I'm from California and Jersey and Boston. That sounds the same to me as well. Yeah, I mean, if we were from Cali, look, we'd be completely... They all are a lot like Australian accents. Actually, they're really similar in the way they say car, like car. You know, it's like really not that different. So, for sure. Water, car. Curl Pixel says, can you say that's such a vibe in Cali? For sure. In like a SoCal way. Dude, such a vibe. For sure. Getting a slice of the za, dude. Get a White Claw. Dude. Was walking down a Rodeo and I saw this guy. Dude, the ollie that he pulled was so steezy. Like Streeter with a hydrant, dude. Like was nothing. But that accent's kind of going away a little. It's kind of, I feel like what I hear on TikTok is a different accent now. Yeah, pitted, dude. It's kind of, there's an accent that's coming out at the moment that's like the TikTok accent. And it's way more like this. Hey guys, welcome to what I did today when walking around in Venice Beach. I got this really awesome shake at this shop. It was delicious. A lot of people talk like that now. Like, really? Like, Burger King foot lettuce. Exactly. That's become like an accent that I hear a lot. Like, no, like stop. It's almost Canadian, actually. There's this, it's this weird TikTok content creator accent. They say, no, Stop. Yeah. Oh my god. Like, no, like, don't. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one. All right. So, what are we doing? Let's do some work, shall we? It's okay. It's okay. I have fun too. I like to have fun as well. I've been working really, really hard this week, so just having a little bit of a break is okay. Focus mode it is. So, I'm actually going to speed run making a magnet ring right now because I know I can do that. All right. Let's maybe design it first. That's okay. That's okay. Do I go the blue and the red? Do I make it really like cliche magnet, or do I keep it actually kind of? I feel like if I make it look almost like a nut. Don't take that the wrong way. It looks like a watch at the moment. Let's play with it. Let's see what we can do. God, I really don't have a lot of space here. Dude. Icon design is not my favorite. I feel like this is what people think of when they think of pixel art, like what it is to do pixel art, you know? But I want to give this stuff some perspective. I hate doing it so mathematically. I feel like I would use this track. I think I was using this track for a documentary, like a summoning salt kind of thing on video game design. Don't you think it would fit really well? Do I speak any languages other than English? I speak a bit of French. A little bit. Pas bien, mais je le parle. Le français un petit peu. Juste... très simplement. Okay. No, I don't like that. I kind of don't like that at all. Thinking like more like a rock on the ring. Yeah, that's better. Keep it simple, Adam. But I don't want to do that. What says magnet? I'm sort of struggling a little bit here. I know like red and blue horseshoe shape is like the obvious one, but I kind of don't. That feels a little bit lame to me for this, especially because it's fantasy. I mean, magnets are metal, so being metal like this is fine. Yeah, I just don't know if I can go there with it. Like, it just feels a bit. Maybe I'll just do some like red and blue highlights. That might be enough. I'm a bit anxious about going down that road of like, oh, it's a magnet, you know. Hey, Curl Pixel. Thank you so much. Gifted subs. Thank you, thank you. I like that, I think. I also have to be really specific about the sprites and whether or not I want to give them proper sprites. I am watching it. Oh, hit Shim. I got you. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm not neglecting anybody. 2:36, so 3:05. Okay, a little bit of time still. So let's make a new accessory. We'll call it magnet ring. It is an accessory. These effects, I probably will have to delete. They were a system that I think is a little bit flawed because they're all stat based, but this stuff is more like effect based. And in fact, this magnet ring, I actually already have the system in place to make it work. So what I do is I go to engine and then I go down to the bottom to equipment instance manager, put the magnet ring there. Then I've got other things in the game that check to see if you have the magnet ring on based on this reference. And then you can do whatever you want. So the ring itself doesn't have any thing that it does. No, I didn't have, no. I didn't have any kind of game object effects in the game. I had like stat effects, like buffs 20 health, that kind of thing. Hey Nathan Franz, I am reading chat. I see you in YouTube. Don't worry. But I wasn't looking during that time. But I do have you guys in my field of vision. I can see you there. I'm reading both. You can both, everyone, I can see everybody, YouTube and Twitch. It's all good. Okay, so let's just tuck that ring in here. Margent. Magnet. All right. And then let's see if I can get it going. So, first things first, can I collect these? Nope. Then I come over here and I go, it's a magnet ring. Oh, okay, that doesn't have an icon yet. And then ding, 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 ding. See, it works. I did that last night. But where did that sprite go? Oh, preview. Oh, there's a difference between the two. Preview is for accessories have them. Yeah, I mean, I want them to look good, but... And then if I go equipment, it should appear here. It's weird that it didn't. I've got 2 sprites for these kinds of things. There's the sprite for the little item here, which is okay, but I don't know what to do. Should we give it the whole full magnet treatment? Nah. I don't want to over render it, but I'm basically at that point now. This is me over rendering it. Nah, I can't do that. I gotta have the contrast between the white and the rest of it. How do you stay motivated to continue to work through all these years and turn Insignia into what it is today? Hard to explain, but I just love what I'm doing. It's important enough. Tips for picking a color palette. Look at games that you like and refer to them. That's what I would do. Hey, Botch Hobbs. Yeah, it's like my baby. Like, I care so much about the world and the game coming to life that I never feel like bored of it, or like it's like a family member, you know? Like, it's so important to me. But I let myself get invested that way because I started the project, you know, I started it with things that I was excited about making. It wasn't just like how to make a game. It was like, no, this world. I want to build this world and I want to be living in it. You know, I love fantasy books. I love animation. I love video games. I love programming. I love sound design and music. I love character design. Like, all of it is exciting to me, so I don't get bored of it. I am working on it full time, yeah. Maybe it's just a plain ring and the gem is floating above it. The only problem with that is I don't have a lot of space. I've got 16 pixels, you know, it's tiny. So I got to keep it really sparse. An official speed run? If you want. I mean, it wasn't on my radar, but Yeah, maybe if I was to do like a higher resolution sprite, which I do have for the other rings. This is cool. When you attack enemies with this thing on, it's much more, what's the word? You can really feel it. Like, see, like those coins just kind of like got absorbed. See that? You don't even have to like think about it. It actually does feel like quality of life. Yeah, it just sucks them up. That was a little odd though. Something got stuck in the air. Okay. Do you not feel the animations make combat feel a bit slow and sluggish? Absolutely not, Ruby. Absolutely not. Slower combat is not sluggish combat. There's a big difference. Sluggish implies that there's less possible intention between the input and the output. Like lag, like rubber banding in a video game where like you pressed one button but you got a different result and delayed. But I think as an animator and an action game player, I find instant animations extremely boring. I think it's super lazy game design to just make it so that when you press the button, the hitbox comes out immediately. Like I feel like you can do that on day one of your game design journey, but you can't balance a game around that. Or if you do, it just becomes this boring hit and run style gameplay. It just becomes like Hollow Knight. To me, and this might just be my tastes, and it might even be a taste that I have that makes my game less likable to some people. I'm okay with that. But for me, I find that kind of game design extremely boring. So for me, animations that have time, that cost frames before you get the hitbox is like an art form. That's like what I'm excited by balancing the time it takes for the hitbox to come out. That's game design. It's not just about power fantasy. It's not just about feedback. It's about design. Like if you were playing Street Fighter, the game design is in the amount of frames it takes for hits to come out and how big the hitboxes are. That's fighting game design. If every hit came out straight away, you would not be able to build a game around it. Yeah, same with Dark Souls. Same thing. You couldn't balance that game if all of the attacks felt fast. You know what I mean? Like there'd just be nothing to balance. You'd just pick the heaviest greatsword and you would just mash. Okay. Let me just like... Is that not what you're supposed to do? Maybe. depends on how you want to play. All right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Randall. Okay. So I need to say ads. Oh, I don't know what all this is. But this chest shouldn't have magnet rings in it. It should have an apple. Was that it was a task board in Figma, yeah. I'm that guy. I'm sure I had a task to do that, what I just did. Look up last quests. It's part of this, I suppose. I'm supposed to be on a meeting right now. I'm good now when you are. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's so useful. Figma's so good, and Trello doesn't let me do what I'm doing here, right? Like my point, what I don't like about Trello is you can't literally say, hey, I've got this task. I'm going to load this task into my schedule today, you know? And then when I'm done, I can delete it. This is more of a to-do list, whereas Trello is like it's about moving things along swim lanes, you know, along a chain. That's not really how I want to build this. I like the idea of like seeing everything, but what I want to do is put stuff in my day planner and then like load my plate up and then clear everything off the plate. That's how I want to work. So that app doesn't exist, so that's what I do here. Okay. Oh yeah, that's this. That's what I just did. We got other rings we can do too. So let's maybe do some more. New 16 by 16, and this is going to be, what have we got? We've got Reckless Ring, which does damage when you roll. It's like a roll, it puts a hitbox on the roll. I think I know what this needs to look like. What's my brain doing here? Oh, that should be like a highlight going that way. Not a dark line. It can be a dark line there, or it could be an internal highlight. But then it should be like more like this, I guess. Yeah, thorns for sure are on the agenda for this thing. I just need to make sure that, like, I'm not sure I can do thorns. I guess I could do this. I'm thinking like, you know, Bowser, how he's got those shackles around his paws. Ah, the heck? What? What just happened? Hello? You can see me, but I don't know what... My screen's frozen. All of my USB things just got unplugged and plugged back in. What the heck? What? Okay, something bad's happening. Okay, we're back. I actually have no idea what just happened. You heard it too, didn't you? Oh my gosh. I think the Windows key is maybe stuck or something. I think this is AEST Brush not liking Windows 10. Hey Eyes, thank you so much for gifting that sub. Yeah, it literally was AEST Brush. It's a weird looking ring. That's kind of better actually. I don't mind it a little squarer. Nah. I think I liked it the way it was. I did like that little... Maybe it needs a bit of color on it. Well, it definitely needs a bit of color, but... Maybe the band can be red. Do I draw classic art? Do you mean like just drawing? Like non-pixel art, you mean? Yeah, although I use the tablet for it. I mean, like I've been doing a lot of work recently for the game. So yeah, mostly for like promo stuff or for animation, reference for the character. Ah, Jennifer Kenobi. How bold. Welcome, Victor. Sup? Hey, Kodum. Welcome. Bit much, but I feel like if I bring it in even 1 pixel, it's going to be too much the other way. Could try falling off the color a little. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. We got to do this. And then now you're kind of back where we started a little. I'm not unhappy with it. I just... I need to check. Am I getting spoken with? Yep. Okay, cool. All right, I gotta save this as reckless ring. Saved.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad.
It's good. Shall we talk about music?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm just doing one thing. I'll be one second. Just putting a new ring in the game. Item name, reckless ring. Cause this trouble. I'll just let that go. Cool. All right. So let's jump into music board and have a look at, I guess, mostly boss fight stuff today.
So we could talk about stings.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
Maybe we could start there.
Please.
Yeah. Keen to hear thoughts on the quest start.
Oh yeah, I've been dying to hear
Figment
those.
did the thing of auto playing the video again.
Yeah, it does do it.
Why does it do that? Okay, I'm good.
Okay. I'm gonna listen to these. This is like live reacting. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa! Let's hear it again. Sorry, I'm gonna crank the volume.
This one's my least favorite, the top one.
Okay, great. It's a great start if
finished.
that's your least favorite. Okay. Oh, they're also grand. There's a lot in here. I think the second one is where my brain went first. But I think right now we might have to dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
They're really nice, but I feel like it's so like I feel like I've achieved it already.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. It's just that hit when the thing opens is like it's very it feels so collectively like the ensemble is all hitting at the exact same time. Maybe we just thin out that a little bit, but I like it a lot. Yeah, I think we're almost there.
Yeah, I can dial it back.
For sure. Cool. Let me hear it back here. Yeah, I actually I think like this is very suitable in terms of like the energy. I love the composition. Yeah, I just think we've overshot a little.
Okay.
Cool.
So sticking with the second one.
I think so. That's been my favorite.
I'll just do another pass of that.
Yep.
Cool.
For sure. Cool. Easy.
I wanted to talk about game over as well. I wrote a very lengthy comment.
Yeah, I love reading. All right.
You could, yeah, I'll let you read.
Yeah, let me do that. Okay, menu screen. Oh yeah. Let's have a listen to that. Yeah, maybe a little less like there's a lot of nature here. It's like we're in a forest. I'm kind of thinking of more like yeah.
Oh, that's what I wrote in the comment. Like it's too much. I wouldn't have all the bird sounds and everything.
Yeah.
But just wind or something.
Yeah, something that's like a bit my mental metaphor is like we're in like a crypt almost, like we're somewhere that's like an isolated hall, you know, and we're hearing the wind echo around.
Yeah,
like everyone's
totally.
Yeah. And then I want to read this. Maybe it comes after the check-in. Hades, if you sit on the menu screen for too long. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little more grim than I would go for, but it's right on track.
Yeah.
Like a lot of reverb. Cool. How did you find this?
Oh, well, Darren Kolb did a talk at High Score in Melbourne. He was online, and he was showing the music system for that.
Oh, that's great.
Which is pretty cool. And so I just remembered it. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, this is the really long comment.
Oh, it's not that long. Could have been longer. All right. Interested to hear your thoughts on the length of the death sting. Your example of it is a bit more drawn out than this sketch I've done. You talk about it being a longer sting. I think that makes sense in the context of the game over being a rare occurrence. I think it would be true most of the gameplay, but I think in the boss fight, having a long moment for every death would start to get annoying. Yeah, I totally see what you're trying to say. I think back to action pretty quickly, rambling a bit out basically. You lengthened your comment with a disclaimer about how long it was. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm open. I'm not going to judge it for being too short. Let's have a listen. Mhm. Yeah, I feel like this discussion is really hard to have without the sound effect piece. Like
Yeah.
there's like in the dynamic of it, you know, there probably needs to be this is like all very as the track that I wrote further up, it's quite you know, gentle, and to know how it's going to fit, like even in the timings of this, I'm kind of like a bit underwhelmed, but I'm only underwhelmed because I'm expecting something that shouldn't even be part of this, which is like a big crashing or something when you die on the exact frame that you get hit. It's hard for me to separate my sensibilities as a player wanting that feedback from the composition of the track itself. I like them both. They're both okay. But I wonder if maybe I need to push. Oh, Elias is working on it now, actually. So maybe I'll wait a day or so. We can pick it back up. Yeah, because for me, it's almost like the what's the word? The timing of this stuff and the sequencing of it is almost more important than the tracks themselves.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. But thank you for first stab. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want any feedback on the boss fight, like the music system, or you? Okay. I don't know if anyone can hear that, but there's something happening next door.
Oh. Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
it's not really in the board here.
Oh,
It's in
that's
the
right.
game,
Yeah. Is
but
there
yeah,
a way
I'm
you could?
interested to hear your initial thoughts, huh?
Yeah. I mean, would you be able to drop? It doesn't have to be right now, but like a recording of what you've got so far, just like everything laid out. It might be just easy to comment on it specifically.
True,
But
yeah.
my thoughts are positive. Yeah, I'm really enjoying hearing it in the track. There's like a domestic happening next door. It's like people's.
Oh no.
I just heard cutlery break. Okay.
Oh no. I can't hear anything in
It's
the
good that you
background,
can't hear it because it's
yeah.
a bit distressing. Okay. Yeah, I will play it now, actually. I'm going to jump into it just so that I can have a fresh memory. And I'm just going to hit pause, I think. Yeah. That what's it called? Is it the instrument that's like a Celesta? Harpsichord. I'm like melodica, Celesta? Yeah, the harpsichord. That's really cool, that intro. It's very like foreboding, like we've entered into the den, which is cool.
Yeah.
I love that. And that oscillating sound is great too. It has a magical, ghostly darkness to it, which is really cool. The colors are great. Really good. It's really good. The little harpsichord melodic bit, I don't know if you're hearing what I'm hearing, but in the sort of after the main section, this is why we need a time signature, time codes. There's a bit where it's sort of a bit syncopated, a bit like da 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 da. I feel like there we could tighten that up a little bit.
Yeah.
My biggest point of feedback, and I don't know if this is just my tastes or whatever, but I would love to hear the bass be like a really overdriven electric bass guitar, like a really like crunchy, fuzzy something. Maybe not in phase 1, maybe it's a phase 2 thing, but like the idea of it going into somewhere that's like more almost garage bandy. Not the software, but the kind of band. I don't know. I'm interested in hearing it if that's possible. It might be hard to even like synthesize that or like sample that in a way that makes it sound believable. Maybe it's something that we reserve for like if we ever get a budget to do live recordings. But yeah, I don't know. That's just something that I'm thinking. But I like everything that's happening. It's hard to even have notes on it because it feels so complete already. I don't know how you did that. Like the first couple of sketches were like, oh, I don't know where this is going to go. And then it's like, boom. And suddenly it's this like wonderful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning to build it out to have, more crunch and more layers and, I guess, for later phases, more meat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Like, I like it. What else was I thinking? Like, I think I'm going to reserve my feedback for a context where I can think about what the words I want to use and be more precise. Because right now, I don't think there's anything I can say that's going to be an improvement. Like, it's really, really good. I am interested in hearing more of like how we contour it out, but I know that part of that conversation is kind of locked behind me polishing it so that you have something to score it against properly. So yeah, like let's keep going. Happy to happy to do it.
I can chuck a video recording of the full thing into the Figma so that if you want to leave more detailed comments about any part later when you have time to formulate your thoughts, you can chuck it in there.
Definitely. And would you feel comfortable annotating it personally?
Actually,
the structures. Yeah, like if you give them names, that's better than me doing it, I think. Like this is what you call it. This is my intro. This is part A or whatever you want to call it. Maybe that would make it a lot easier.
It'd be a good exercise for me too. I mean, I've been trying to think in that way as well. And I think I'm still playing around with that part of it as well. So
yeah, feel
free.
Good
to lay it out.
Yeah. That'd be really helpful. Thanks. What day is it today? Today is Thursday. Okay, so
Thursday.
All right. Do you have any other needs relating to the pre and post boss fight stuff and the end? This stuff that we've sort of lumped into the end of the week. Do you need anything that you don't have regarding that stuff?
Oh, I tried to play I managed to get a recording of the pre-boss fight like cutscene section. Okay. So that's good. But then in Harriet's quarters, I think I had a collision issue. Soft locked there.
Yeah. You gotta. I'll fix that.
It wasn't. I got down the stairs.
Oh, you managed to click down.
Yeah. I clicked down, and then I was talking with her, and then I think at the part where she's like, look at the sword, or
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
opens your inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get past that.
Yeah, that's so definitely broken, because I haven't
Yeah.
even played that myself since I built it. And the way that was designed was that it opens the menu. It's like the script automates the game opening the menu, but I might have changed how that's worked entirely since then. So there's no
Yeah.
it's no way that that's not gonna. It's probably just gonna pause the game and then you can't unpause it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. I don't think I
You don't need that.
that
No,
to.
you
Yeah,
don't need it.
exactly. So it's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. I really appreciate it though.
So
I need like to spend this weekend doing stuff for this particular. There's like a few loose ends that, like, if I don't tie them off, they're just not going to get done. And I have so many other things that I need to do, but it's really important this stuff gets done. So thank you for like bumping into this stuff, because it's like it reminds me, like it reprioritizes it whenever that happens.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
You got
sorry.
a lot of plates spinning.
I do, and this one's a bit wobbly. So, yep, you were going to say something?
No, I think I have everything I need in terms of those. I did start on the pre-boss fight Burning of Orenstead stuff.
Okay.
But only a little bit, so not worth discussing or posting now. But
okay.
Yeah, I'll probably do a bit more tomorrow.
Cool. That track, in terms of like the palette, I don't think we discuss anything about it at all. I'm not even sure we did.
Which one? The boss fight?
Yeah, the pre-boss fight.
Oh,
the burning
pre-boss
one.
fight.
The burning.
We talked about it from a
like we talked about it
perspective, but I
structurally.
don't think we. Yeah, we had the Oh, where's it gone? Oh yeah,
At the
over
very
here.
top. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. We talked about that, but I don't think we talked about palette specifically.
In
terms of
expectation. I mean, I don't have like a lot of expectations here. My head, it's orchestral, but actually whatever you feel. I might just let you run free with it, see how you go.
The way I've started, what I've started is orchestral, so
yeah. Maybe you could play around with like towards the very end of it. Maybe there would be a nice way to like dovetail slightly into how we like into the boss palette. Maybe
it's a good point, actually. Yeah.
As it becomes more about like Harriet and Armin fighting, but I'll let you play with that. I guess I was just mentally checking off that I wasn't leaving you in the void on palette with nowhere to start. But actually, I think I will let you play creatively.
Cool.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I won't keep you. I got to get ready soon anyway, so I'll see you later.
See you later. All right.
Gotcha.
Bye.
All right, bye. Okay, pals. So I've got like an event to be at 6. I probably won't be there at 6 just because I got priorities, and it's more that I need to make an appearance at this thing than for me to be there every moment of the event. So let me see if I can get a couple more of these rings in there. I've had some questions come in while I was doing that, so let me see if I can quickly answer them. Beyond, thank you so much for the sub. Yeah, lots of thought. Yeah, it's you know what? I'm actually so grateful that I've put like 7 years of thought into my game, because now when I'm trying to direct people on it, like I had a conversation today about the trailer, and we're talking about specific VFX of Magic. One sec. Okay. Man, I don't have much time today. I probably should end the stream right now rather than start a new task, if I'm being honest. Have you considered a potential New Game Plus? Oh, I mean, New Game Plus is a little tough, but hey, I've got a question from Mokalux on YouTube. I know that was ages ago, but are you still here, Mokalux? I can answer that question. Venom Chameleon says, hey Adam, do you play other games while developing full time? I do. Do you know what? Actually, my appetite for gaming in the last 6 months, because I've been so busy, has been very, very, very low. But I'm happy to watch gaming. So I actually watch my wife play games at the moment. And I do take a lot of inspiration and reflection when I watch her play. I think it's really important to still be exposed to games when you're making a game, especially as long as I've been doing it. I've helped her play Animal Well. We kind of played it together. Mario Galaxy, Mario Sunshine recently. What else? Baba Is You. A few different games. We were playing Tunic last year. Recently, though, the Mario games have been... I'm probably not going to get much work done today, so I'll just... We've got like 5 minutes left of the stream before I got to go. It is astounding to me that Mario Sunshine, the jump from Mario Sunshine to Mario Galaxy in quality is absolutely staggering between those two games. Like, I'm so reassured when I look at those two games specifically, playing Mario Sunshine and then playing Mario Galaxy. I see a Nintendo made of people like me, just like normal people who are just trying to make something good. And the only difference between that and me is that I didn't release a game of Insignia 3 years ago, because that would have been my Sunshine. Like, I'm kind of trying to get straight to Galaxy, but Mario Sunshine it's a mess. It's bad, in my opinion. It's not like a good game. There are good ideas that have nowhere near enough polish on them. There are bad ideas that got left in because they just fill out the content. There is a really rough story that's got very low production effort into it. And there are things that are just not considered. There are just like lots of things that are just sort of left in a state that needs more time and energy. And you can see how they've taken Sunshine and just kept working on it to get to Galaxy. And of course they have the gravity stuff, but I'm not talking about that. I'm really more talking about how to section combat content out, how to construct it, like building blocks of content, and how to move the player between them. Feedback, polish on just movement and difficulty curves, that kind of stuff. The level of polish that Galaxy has compared to Sunshine is so crazy, and it's actually a much more simple game in its structure, in the input methods. Just how you play Galaxy is super simple compared to Sunshine, but cinematically, musically, in UX wise, basic game feel, flow, all of those things are like so much better, you know, in Galaxy. It's incredible. Even the boss fights in Galaxy are like tutorial boss fights. They're simpler than like the most basic boss fight in Sunshine. Even the biggest boss fight in Galaxy is simpler than the most complicated one in Sunshine, but it's better because they just do a better job of producing it. It's just a better produced spectacle, you know? It's simpler what you have to do, but it feels better to do it. Kodume says, sorry, I can't pronounce it. May I ask you something? I actually started doing 2D games, but I can't find resolution things. Which resolution do you prefer to me? If it's pixel art, 640 by 360. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how much better Galaxy is. And these are things that it's hard for people to explain why they're good. Oh, cartoon 2D. If it's 2D, then just do 1080p. Hey, Herlock, how's it going? Hey. Oh, you're still here, Mokolux. Okay. So your question was, how do you determine jump height? Playtesting. Playtesting. I've got a scene. We sat down the other day and we refined this in a way that we hadn't previously. Where I did because I've done a lot of changes to the jump height recently. So we were just figuring out, okay, what kinds of things do we want to be able to jump over? How far do you want to be able to jump? With abilities, without abilities? And then the same thing for jumping up. So you mold it to the terrain. See? Everything here is a bit different in terms of the heights. But so like this, for example, you can stumble up this, but you have to ledge grab this from there. You can't stumble up that. I do want to make it a bit more fluid. I think we're still, like right now, the air stall is cool, but it's that little get up animation. I feel like it's a little bit, it's okay, but it could be better. Like I feel like it sort of slows you down a little bit. Hey, Sailor Man. Aspects of it will be, but I'll probably rebuild the tools. Maybe not from scratch. Depends on if I make it in Unity or not. Mokolux, it's like a negotiation. You have to do both. You have to think about what kinds of gameplay are created when you have this kind of jump, and then go, oh, is that too much or not enough? It actually, for me, a lot of it was affected by combat in my game. So like at first the question of like, should you be able to jump over enemies? Should you be able to jump over all of the enemies was like a big factor. And when I had enemies that weren't required to do platforming, being able to jump over enemies was something that I didn't want players to do, because I was like, oh, you can just skip the enemies. But now that the enemies are the puzzles, now I don't mind so much that you can jump over them, because you need them anyway. So it's really, really fine, the balance. You have to know what the rest of the game is. Like that enemy, you have to kill it to get up here, or you have to kill the hedgehog. So it doesn't really bother me that you can jump over them, because being able to jump over the enemy isn't the block. Hang on. Oh. Yeah, like the enemy isn't the thing that's stopping you, it's what's inside the enemy. So I turned it into like keys and locks. Whereas before, like much earlier in the game, I was thinking of designing enemies like this guy. I was like, I'm going to make an enemy that's really big so that you can't jump over him, because I don't want you to be able to get past him. And that made me try to make the jump height smaller. But then obviously that changes platforming. So like for me, it was like, oh no, it's not fun anymore to move around in the game because the jump height's too small. So something in that context had to break. I had to take something out to make it work. So now it's okay, because like you can jump around and it's fine, but you can't get through the level unless you beat the enemies. That makes it okay to jump at a height that just works for the platforming, that just makes that more fun. Hey Helmi. A state pattern? Both. Yes, for Armin and for the enemies. That's right. Okay. They do share the same methods. Oh, no worries, Merkulox. Yeah, that's a big part of it, is understanding. This is like the core of game design and game engineering and how those two match. Or I should just say game design. It's understanding what are called dependencies. So like, does your jumping depend on your enemy design? Does your jumping depend on level design? Does your level design depend on jumping? When you have too many things that are dependent on one thing, changing that thing makes everything else have to change. Sometimes that's good if you can balance it, but it's always a good idea to think about what might happen if you separate them so that they're not dependent on each other. How do they have to change in a way that makes it work if they can be independent? If they can be independent and it's still fun, then maybe you're just making it a bit easier for yourself by separating them. Like maybe they don't have to be together. But sometimes novelty in game design can only be reached when you mix things in a way that they weren't mixed before. That's really hard. But that's what it is. Like when you take two genres, you try to make them, you're trying to make them dependent. You're trying to find the value in what happens if they're connected to each other. So you have to encounter this problem. Mais c'est juste, c'est la vie, non? C'est comme ça. Bonne chance. Bounty, thank you so much for the follow. What the hell? I write OPEN and it goes on pre-render. I don't have Copilot open. What is happening? What the hell is... I've never seen it be so intrusive before. What the hell? VOIDCLOSE, open bracket, on collision enter. What is that? Is that OmniSharp? Like, that's gross. How do I write? It's so intrusive right now. I can't write my code. But OmniSharp's not open. Oh, that's so weird. All right, Bounty Snipe says, new viewer, I watched your video on content creation while doing game dev, and I'm thinking about getting into that. I plan to stream some of my game development, but it's pretty story heavy with lots of potential spoilers. Do you have any tips for new game dev streamer that is streaming pixel art action game that is story heavy? I do. I would say don't worry about it. I know spoilers feels like a real big issue because that's where the value of your game is. But if your game has a lot of story, there's actually kind of like no way anybody watching is ever going to get a good picture of the story. And if they are able to get a good picture of the story, those kinds of viewers, the people who like really love your project, they want the inside scoop. They want to know. So like there are some things that I keep off stream. Like I'm working on a trailer at the moment. I don't work on that on stream. There are like major story twists in my game that I don't want players to know about. I don't work on them on stream. But like if it's just like showing the story, most of it, like the main campaign stuff, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, unless it's like a major twist. Like the Darth Vader is, you know, Luke's father. That kind of stuff, sure, don't work on it on stream. Everything else, it's like no one's paying enough attention to like, you know, solve all of the answers. Even I've got like 140 people here. Nobody noticed that like my follow and subscriber labels were wrong for like a month. Like people are paying a little bit of attention, but not like so much that they're like combing through every single thing that you work on. Yeah, it's not a big issue. And most of your audience who plays the game won't have watched the stream. That's the other thing. You know, even if 100 people are watching, if you plan on selling 10,000 copies, what's 100 people? That's even assuming everyone who watches is going to buy it. Oh, yeah. Crosscode. Do they stream their development? Where do they stream it? Here on YouTube, on Twitch. Would you start? Yeah, if you were to start learning pixel art without any experiments, how would you start? Watch my YouTube channel, Jose. I wonder if I can just... How would I start? Yeah, I answered that. Okay, so let's just like add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, and they could be anything. Not this. Oh, they do appear there. I did it wrong. But this has got a content size fitter, so it actually doesn't matter how big this is. So why, when I do this, why does this ignores layout? Oh, okay. So this just needs to be like 0 or something. Yeah. -4. Cool. Okay. Bread item named 999 goes hard. Hey. Okay, so these exist, but why de invisible? What do we got here? Nothing. Okay, well that's clearly an issue. Oh, it's inventory items. Oh, do I have a different thing called an item listable? I don't. Okay. Well, I'll need to make one, I guess. Wow. Okay. Well. Why you no save? Save, please. It's not going to save even though I'm telling it to save. It's called using what the heck? File save as insignia item listable. Oh, also unsavable. Okay. I thought maybe the file name was wrong. Please save. Why can't I save this? No. Okay, now it saves. VS Code was just losing it. This looks holy moly levels of complicated to you? You haven't seen anything. You're not even... just a little baby code. Hey, there's one. I changed the name of that, didn't I? Hey, there we go. Cool. It's a UI. Do I ever analyze the state of the indie game industry or trends and various aspects of it? Yeah, I do actually. I did that for some research that I was building a little while ago for a grant submission. it was pretty extensive, but if I'm being honest, I wouldn't say it was worth publishing outside of the context of the scenario that I was in. Mostly because it's hard to validate that stuff in a way that I would say is worth like scientific. I don't want to propagate that information if it's not validated. So it's enough for me. Like I'm okay to make my decisions based on it. Yeah, it's a bit like that. That's right. I'll see if I can find this. Document that I made. Oh. Okay. Big, high-level overview. This is my little research index. I wrote some code that would scrape Steam's API on behalf, through a third-party website. And I picked 50 games that were pixel art adventure games, either turn-based or roguelike or side-scrolling platformer, anything that was in like the indie space with pixel art that was kind of like my game, even some sim games, but mostly action adventure side-scrolling. And I used a couple other APIs to evaluate, to bring in their projections on sales. So these are organized by estimated profit on Steam exclusively. This is just Steam. So Stardew Valley is estimated to have made $172 million. This is by October last year. This looks like a lot of information. Most of it is just me querying two databases and just mashing the results here. It's not very impressive. But I also looked at Kickstarter projects as well, and looked at how much money they made based on backers as well. So I manually imported all the info about which platforms they were on, how much money they got from backers, and then how many reviews they got on release and how much money they were estimated to make on release. And then I put together this presentation about my game, the games that I was doing this research on, and some key qualities about them based on the research. It's not very good research. I want to be really clear about this, that I was really trying to look at deep insights, and I didn't have quite enough information to be as pinpoint on this as I'd like. So it's good for me, but I don't think it's worth necessarily sharing with everybody. The big things, the takeaways that I would make are basically, I mean, like you were saying, make a good game is kind of just like what it comes down to. But essentially it's like this. If your game has a lot of money behind it, you can afford to make it good. And if you have a lot of press and marketing and your game is good, it's likely that you're going to do well. So there are some other interesting ones, like if your game's really, really successful, you don't need to have lots of different languages that you support to make a lot of money. You know, it's like, okay, obviously, if you're Pizza Tower, your game is out on one platform, it's got one language that it supports, English on Steam. That's it on PC. That game still made like $15 million. Most games, however, do make more, and that correlates to how many languages they support. This might be, yeah. But that also feels a bit circular. It's like, well, if you have the budget to release on multiple platforms, you're reaching multiple markets, of course you're going to support more languages. You know, it's not that games that support more languages automatically make more money, but there's a correlation there. Same thing with the different platforms. Like if you're going to be on 3 different platforms, it's probably that you've got the budget to do that, in which case you've probably got the budget to market it too, which means you're probably going to make more money. There are some interesting things here, like some games had not a lot of reviews, but decent scores. typically you expect this to go up like that, right? The better reviews, the more money you're going to make. But if you have good reviews and low sales, that's weird, right? Like, why do you have a game that's on average scored like, in the 90s, but your game has been played by like 20 people? That's weird. So I looked into that a little bit. Looking at conversion rates for backers versus profit, I think for me, this one also is pretty weird. I tried to do a lot with this graph, probably overshooting. It's too dense, but the takeaway here was something like, basically, when you do a Kickstarter, you're setting an expectation. If you can make a game that meets that expectation, then your backing is going to multiply your sales. But if your game's not going to meet that expectation because your quality wasn't, you weren't able to deliver, then obviously your Kickstarter means nothing. So at the end of the day, quality does matter. I also had this sort of trend of, there's like a 100K line, yeah? If your Kickstarter has less than 100K support USD, it's not a clear indication. There's very few games that had a lot more than 100K in backing that didn't also do quite well. And the ones that specifically didn't do as well, now this isn't 1-to-1 scale. This is factor of 10. So the red is actually 10 times bigger than the blue in this logic. So this is not, Chasm didn't make more money than it sold. I mean, it didn't get more backing than it sold. It just, relative to the others, didn't sell quite as good as the backing made it look like it was going to, because it got like 200K in backing, but it only made $1 million in sales or something like that. That's a weird ratio, and a couple of games hit that. The Last Faith had just come out when I did this, so it's not really a good metric because it's probably up here now. But you can see down here, this is kind of what I'm really trying to say, is that like if you're way under 100K, that's not going to magically make your game successful, even if you met your funding goal. Because what are you going to do with like 60K USD? Maybe it helps you work on the game for an extra year alone, but it's not going to help you market the game. Whereas, if you get a ton of funding, well, yeah, now you kind of guarantee success, because again, you can afford to make the game good, you can afford to market it, etc. There are other things here about publishers, and I don't feel as confident about this information because it's kind of me. It's very small sample size and it's anecdotal. It's not great, but I would say having a publisher is not an automatic win. Some publishers will not push very hard for you. And so even if you have a publisher, there are stories of certain games that I don't like getting into, but where specifically Dear Villagers, a couple games here, both the two games that were published by Dear Villagers that I checked, both seemed to have kind of odd relationships with their audience in a way that damaged their relationship. I don't want to get into that because it doesn't feel right for me to make claims about this kind of stuff. It's just something that I noticed. So like Revita was, positively reviewed, but some of these games get review bombed. Even though they're like Soldiers, I think was a decent game, but got review bombed because of something about, there was drama basically when the game came out. It was really buggy, people were getting broken saves or something like that. But that's obvious, right? Saying like, do a good job and don't screw over your players is like, okay, but it's important to understand what your publisher is going to do for you, because there were other games that did do very well that self-published, but you have to also remember these games, at least that self-published, were not their first game. So maybe it's fine to self-publish if you have momentum. If you have a successful title, you've got an audience, it's easier for you to make those relationships with first parties. Iconoclasts was like, I think, a PlayStation console exclusive that got promoted on the PlayStation YouTube channel when they released. Then they went on Nintendo and did the Switch circuit. You know, Sea of Stars is like another game where it's off the back of their previous game. I think it was The Messenger that did really, really well. So they already had a lot of money. They had an audience. It's easy to market if you've got cred. So self-publishing feels like something that is attractive, but it's like, well, if you're so big you don't need a publisher, then sure. So that's a lot of the research that I did. Then there is this graph, which I've since rethought, and I really like this graph. Also, hey, check it. It's my new presentation style. Do you like this? This is a candidate for the current thing. This screenshot's not the most exciting thing, but specifically looking at this kind of magic stuff and this, you know, doing stuff like this. I don't know. I'm mucking around with ideas. I gotta go soon, so I'm trying to be quick here. But like this graph and this is something that I'm also looking at. So understanding, this is for my game specifically. I'm making an action adventure game. Okay. What is it that makes an action adventure game successful? And how should I compare my game to other games based on its elements? It's not enough to say action adventure, that's like Metroidvania. You should market your game like a Metroidvania, because there are different things that players expect depending on what your game is comprised of. And if you market it as one thing, but it's something else, you might disappoint people. So this is kind of me just categorizing Insignia for whatever publisher might be reading this, so that people understand what it is that I'm making, so that they know how to market it. I did this little genre thing where it's like, I've taken a bunch of different genres in this area and categorized them by how much action they have, plot versus exploration. And it's a ratio thing. It's not a big versus small thing. It's like, how much of each do you have in your game? Insignia is like true action adventure. So it's got all three. I want to use the word explore in the marketing. I want to use the word action. I want to use the word story. These are things that I want to say because I want people who like those things to know the game has them, right? Insignia does not have any roguelike mechanics, at least not right now. It's not considered a roguelike, and partly that's because roguelikes typically have less traversal based story. Like, they don't have story that takes place in places that you go. That's more of an RPG thing. Roguelikes obviously are in one location that you re-enter over and over again. Yes, you can do Hades style stuff where you have a hub that expands, but like, time is usually not the dramatic arc over space is something that you can do in a hero's journey adventure, like Lord of the Rings style thing. It's like, we're going here and then we go here, then we go here. Can't do that as well in a roguelike. Unless you do something funky with the storytelling format. So I compare the game, like, you know, Eastward, Sea of Stars, like Insignia is not that different from those games if you take out the action mechanics. But it's also like Shovel Knight, where it has the action mechanics, but if you were to take the story out. Not that this is all to say that there are games in this space that are doing well. And some of them are pixel art, some of them not so much, but the format of action adventure is doing well in the industry. And if I want to market my game correctly, I should be looking to these games to understand what's going right. And what does it look like to market this stuff well? What is if my game is very high in exploration, how do I market it? Who do I market it to? If my game's got way more story, how do I market it? What does the capsule art look like for a game that's got much more story? I mean, look at it. Lots of characters on screen, more story, you know, stuff like that. Even the word like Souls. Souls is very like Souls, like Dark Souls. It's got more action in it. I'm surprised it doesn't have as much exploration, although I hand drew that, so this could be a bit I might not be doing the best job here, but Hollow Knight is very exploration heavy. Blasphemous very exploration heavy. They both have more soul characters in a wide open environment and how they explain it, how they market the game. So this idea of like, do you focus on the beyond or do you focus on the characters? Do you focus on sword and fighting and action, or do you focus on story and, you know, excitement and uplifting drama, you know? I'm personally not in a position where I'm going to like change what the game is based on what's successful. I'm just looking for how to best market what I'm making. So that's my research. I'm trying. It's not, you know, it's what I know, but it's also it's kind of mostly what I think. So there you go. No worries. I gotta go too. Thanks, pals. I'll probably just push this really quickly. Hey, Chei, thank you so much for the sub. Hey, Kobian, no worries. Nigord, no worries. I'll stay in touch. If you've ever done professional translations before, I would appreciate talking to you about it. Okay. I gotta run. I'm not going to rate anybody. Thanks everyone for checking out the stream today. I hope you had a lot of fun. If you like my content on Twitch, you can definitely check out my YouTube channel. I should be posting there very soon. YouTubers, if you like what I'm looking at, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AdamCEunice and support what I do outside of the stream, or even inside the stream. If you like watching me make the game, you can help solidify its production by supporting me that way. That's it. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I've been Adam. You've been the Pixel Pals. This has been the IndieTales Game Dev live stream. Until next time.